Folks, this is Wear and Tear, yet another outdoor and gear review channel. A few minutes ago I had a little accident with my DJI Mavic Mini. I was filming a bridge when the automatic return on the drone got triggered because of a low battery status, and I didn't pay attention, didn't abort it on time, and the drone went into auto return, crashed into the bridge. With that it broke off the tips of the props, and then it fell down about 10 meters and crashed into soft soil, grass, soft soil. The gimbal is a little bit damaged. Basically, the mount of the gimbal is damaged. The gimbal itself should still work as far as I was able to see. So now let's clean this drone up and then see whether we can repair it or whether we have to trigger the DJI insurance. So I finally get the top cover off. In order to do that, you need to loose 4 screws, and for that you use the little screwdriver that is included with the Mavic Mini package that you also use to exchange the props. So the damage internally, it's basically this part here is broken. So the part that holds up the gimbal is broken. So I've simply used some super glue to glue this connection point back together. This is just really the passive shock absorbing system, and so far it seems to hold up, and the whole assembly is centered again. We'll see. I'll do a test flight and everything, but all seems good. I'll clean it up a little bit more after the super glue really has hardened. Should be pretty much back to original strength, and then I have to calibrate the gimbal again, and I will see how everything works out. So while the super glue dries, I will switch out the damaged props. While I finish cleaning my baby, let me just tell you a little bit about the history of this drone. I once had it completely submerged in water. I dropped it into a little creek and it was submerged underwater for quite a few seconds, so it was completely wet inside and out. I dried it carefully. I replaced the damaged battery pack, and there wasn't a single hiccup with the drone since then. It took no damage really. So today's crash was really very impactful, and if it would be damaged, I wouldn't be surprised. But all in all, over many months of usage, and I think 200 flights or so, this drone is really amazingly tough, and it's also easy to handle. The accident today was my fault. I was talking with someone, and instead of aborting the automatic return to home, which was not programmed correctly from the beginning, my fault, but instead of aborting it, I just pushed down, and then the drone just started ignoring my inputs and took off its merry way right into the bridge, because it is dumb as a piece of bread with propellers. That's just the way it is. It has no sensor, it has no artificial intelligence. This is something that you have to consider when you fly these cheaper drones or entry-level drones. But flying it is a very enjoyable experience, generally speaking. Yeah, everything looks good. No further mechanical damage. It's really just a shock absorber assembly here. So this broke. Now it seems to be okay. See how long the super glue holds up. Okay folks, I have calibrated the gimbal. Everything seems to work. Let's give it a first test. I've also checked the settings. I set it to return at 135 meters height. For some reason it didn't do that, it just went off to the side. So it's still a riddle to me. If you have any input on that after you've seen the accident footage, I would be very thankful. So let's see whether the drone starts up. This is simply the Mavic Mini. It's amazing. After that crash, the gimbal seems to work. Everything seems absolutely fine.